Hi everyone, welcome and thank you so much for joining us this evening for Apprenticeships, the Facts. My name is Nicole Mockin and I am one of the Early Careers Managers here at Deloitte. I'd also like to introduce you to some of my colleagues who are joining us this evening. We have Jenny Catlin, who is our Apprenticeship Manager. We have Lorna Williamson, who is one of the Early Careers Recruitment Advisors.
Hello everyone.
And we have Simran Johal and Michael Considine, who are both apprentices within the firm.
Hi.
So over the next 45 minutes, we aim to share lots of detail on apprenticeships generally, but also apprenticeships here at Deloitte, to clear up any confusion, answer any questions, and hopefully to inspire you to pursue an amazing opportunity. So we'll be making a note of all your questions throughout. If there is anything you'd like to ask us, please do send it in, and we'll make sure that we try and answer that for you. Also, just to note, we can't actually see your name or anything when you submit one, so don't feel shy about asking us any questions that you might have. Okay, so on to what we're going to cover today. We will be telling you a bit about Deloitte as a business, who we are, what we do, and where we do it. We'll go through the essentials that you need to know about apprenticeships, and we'll talk about the advantages of an apprenticeship and how that can compare to university. Then you'll hear from two of our apprentices, Simran and Michael, who've been in your position, possibly wrestled with the same decision and ultimately gone on to find success in one of our teams. And if you're interested, we'll also help you get the ball rolling with your application as well. Okay, so who are we? Meet Deloitte. We are a leader with the power to influence and implement change on a global scale. We employ over 286,000 employees worldwide, and 20,000 of those are in the UK. We've got a large community of apprentices, 700 plus. So there's a real social side to our apprenticeship programme as well. And there's lots of groups and networks. So you'll meet lots of new people, make new friends and have fun. So hopefully in a similar way to how you would do if you were to go on to university. We genuinely do care about the well-being of our employees as well, and making a positive contribution to the world. So we give our people lots of opportunities to volunteer with various social enterprises and with charities as well. And we do believe in bringing out the best in people, so we invest millions every year to help our team get the skills and qualifications they need to make a real impact in their field. So in terms of where we are, we've got locations all over the UK and specialise in all sorts of areas with opportunities in England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. But don't just take it from me. We've got a short video here for you where you'll hear from some of our people to tell you about what we actually do here.
Deloitte are one of the big four. They are the largest professional services network in the world.
They offer a huge amount of services all around the globe, a massive diversity of products and ways in which you can engage with the firm to better business.
They sort of provide people to different businesses to provide their expertise in certain areas.
Anything from tax problems to consulting, immigration, there's a huge scope. We essentially solve any company's issues and system with problems.
Working for Deloitte means a lot to me. It's a very entrepreneurial, forward-thinking organisation. There are other organisations which do a similar thing to Deloitte, the other big four, for example. But Deloitte is just, there's more energy to it, in my opinion. There's more of an entrepreneurial flair to it, which is really appealing.
It's really important to be innovative all the time, just to provide our customers with the best knowledge that is on the market.
We always think about how can we do things better, how can we do them best for our clients and for ourselves to make the process more efficient.
Every day you're asked to try and think outside the box, think about something different. How can we make this process better? And you're surrounded with such creative and capable people.
I think they're more than just business advisors, they're business partners. It's a place that I'm proud to be associated with. It's a great name, and more than that, it's quality. And that's what I associate Deloitte with, and that's what I want to be a part of.
Okay, so hi everybody, it's Jenny Catlin here and I am the Apprenticeship Manager at Deloitte. So I'm going to give you the lowdown on apprenticeships in Deloitte and some facts for you to digest. So apprenticeships, the basics. What is an apprenticeship first of all? Well, an apprenticeship combines a full-time job with formal education or training. You'll join our team from day one and work alongside colleagues as a fully paid employee from the start. You'll receive professional tuition and be given dedicated study time to work towards professional qualifications. The duration of our apprenticeships vary, but typically they'll take from between 15 months to 4 years to complete, depending on the business area and the kind of qualification that you do. You'll get to work on real work projects alongside an expert team, and this will give you the chance to ask questions and gain invaluable practical experience. Your performance will be assessed throughout and you'll be given coursework to complete and sit exams when necessary. On completion of your apprenticeship, you'll then have the opportunity to move on to the next stage of your career with us. And just to stress, these are full-time permanent positions. Your career at Deloitte does not stop once you have completed your apprenticeship. So why choose an apprenticeship? So I'm going to give you 6 reasons. First up, it's a great way to start your career now without having to wait years to graduate from university. You'll get valuable work experience and professional qualifications with a programme that balances client and project work from day one. Through the apprenticeship, you'll develop a broad range of skills and learn technical and professional skills that will set you up for success. You get to earn while you learn. So rather than building up student debt, you'll be earning a competitive salary with benefits. And there is a huge amount of support to help you along the way. You'll have experts there to guide you, and you'll have Deloitte coaches and buddies and mentors there to bring out the best in you. And you'll have tutors and lecturers to help you achieve your qualification and support you on your journey. We have locations all over the UK, from Southampton to Cardiff to Manchester to Aberdeen. We have opportunities everywhere, and this is ideal if you don't want to move away from home.
Thanks, Jenny. So I'm just going to talk to you a bit about the different parts of our business that you could go on and join if you were to join our apprenticeship programme. So first off, we have audit and assurance. So this part of the business is about making sure a company's financial information is accurate to allow any shareholders to make vital decisions. So you'll travel to various client sites to get a detailed understanding of their business. You'll identify key risks and design strategies to mitigate them. And each industry is really faced with very different risks. So as you'll be working across lots of different clients, it means there'll be a lot for you to learn in this area. We also have our business and financial advisory team. So the work this team do is all about finding the smartest solutions to clients' difficult challenges. So you could be, for example, helping a struggling business to get back on its feet, or you could be advising the NHS or finding ways to combat financial crime as well. There's lots of different aspects to be involved in and inspired by in these teams, so you can learn and develop, and you can really carve out a career that's just right for you. We have our cyber team. So cyber security has never been more relevant at the moment or more in demand. So because organisations are becoming increasingly dependent on technology, they're a lot more exposed now to theft and fraud, online abuse, exploitation. So our cyber team comes in and helps our clients to anticipate and minimise these risks and make the best decisions about how they're set up, their technology, their people and their processes as well. So you can join on either the technical or strategic side, but you would be working on all different kinds of challenging projects to work to keep our clients safe and one step ahead. We also have our governance, risk and regulation teams. So technology is as you will all probably know, transforming how we all interact and the way that businesses fundamentally operate now. So for every organisation, any failure to navigate uncertainty can be disruptive, but also devastating. So in the governance, risk and regulation team, we help our clients anticipate any changes and take action to make sure that they are successful. So in the past, this has meant advising our clients and helping them to maybe comply with regulations or best practice. But now it's also about transforming the way they work and helping to define their future and providing risk solutions. We have our human capital part of the business. So two of the biggest challenges that companies face are how to get the best out of their people and how to be ready for the future. So whatever your role within human capital, you could be helping our clients to maximise the potential of their team and assess all the challenges, risks and opportunities that they may have ahead. So you could be helping a client to attract the top talent into their organisation, or helping organisations to evolve and adapt to embrace any new technologies. But you'll learn from some of the smartest business minds around and work with really influential and fascinating organisations across the industries and sectors here. We also have Deloitte Legal. So Deloitte Legal is an area where we have just recently started to recruit graduates and apprentices. Everything within this area of the business focuses on helping clients experience the future of law today. So by qualifying as a solicitor, you'll work alongside over 2,000 other legal experts, and you'll learn how to combine legal expertise with our global network of accountants and consultants, technologists, to deliver a complete legal solution to all our clients. We also have our real estate practice. So this combines property expertise with financial and business advice, and it makes the real estate team really quite unique. So you could be involved in projects like the regeneration of the Olympic Park, advising some of the most influential businesses in the world on their property portfolios. You could be planning a new town or transport system, but you really can experience every sector and industry working within this area. We also have our strategy and operations teams. So they enjoy an unrivaled position in the market. So they combine not only the scale and strength of Deloitte as a global professional services firm, but also a cutting edge nature of a boutique consultancy. So now with the sort of growing complexity and continuous change in this era, business leaders really need to act with conviction, speed and knowledge. So they need people with the sharpest insight and the best ideas and the right support. So within this team, you could be supporting your clients from strategic idea generation through to delivery and measurement of value, but you'll be helping your clients make some of the most important decisions affecting their businesses. We also have our tax practice, and within tax, they combine strategy, technology, compliance, and tax advisory to identify where businesses and organisations need to be and then to help them to get there. So the tax roles are about solving complex challenges, helping clients to make the right decisions on a worldwide scale by working collaboratively, finding new, better ways of working, including letting robots take care of the more mundane tasks, all of which means that you'll get to see the bigger picture and become a real expert in your specialised tax field. And last but not least, we have our technology practice. So technology is everything, from how we connect to how we shop, how businesses operate, and even how criminals function these days. So in the ever more complex and challenging world, we direct our clients to the best and most secure solutions. We also create them, and you can be part of all that. There are various different career opportunities here. You could be on the strategy technology side, you could be a developer, you could be a digital transformation expert, a data analyst, a forensic specialist, but whatever your role, you'll be helping to solve the client's most critical technology challenges.
Okay, thanks, Nicole. I mean, as you have just heard there from Nicole, Deloitte is a diverse business. And so to reflect that, we have a range of apprenticeships that we offer at Deloitte, ranging from accounting and tax through to technology and business. Specifically, I'm going to go through a list of the ones that we currently offer. So these include the level 4 accounting taxation technician apprenticeship. That is on offer in our tax practice, and you would study for the ATT tax qualification as part of that. We have the level 7 accountancy taxation professional, which is available in our audit and tax service lines, and also in risk advisory and financial advisory. And this provides the opportunity to get a really important audit accountancy qualification or tax qualification as part of your apprenticeship as well. Digital and technology solutions professional. So these are available in our consulting business and in other technology businesses across the firm. And as part of that, you would complete a degree in digital and technology solutions. We also offer the Chartered Manager Degree Apprenticeship, again, predominantly available in consulting, but also available across the firm. And this includes a degree in management practice. And then we've got some more niche apprenticeships across the firm as well, such as risk and compliance. If you are working in financial crime, or if you are working in our internal client services that deal with risk, you most likely would complete one of these. And then we have apprenticeships relating to data and analysis and software development. So that is not an exhaustive list, and they do change depending on the needs of the business. I hope that will give you a flavour of the types of opportunities that we offer across the business. The type of apprenticeship that you do will depend on the area of the business that you want to work in. Okay, so you've heard a lot from Nicole and myself about apprenticeship opportunities in Deloitte, but there's nothing better than hearing from our very own apprentices themselves. And we have Michael and Simran who are here to say a little bit about what they do. And then there'll be the opportunity for you to ask questions. So over to you, Michael and Simran.
Accounting and technician apprentice. So I sit within the tax consulting part of the business, and I'm in private markets. So I deal mostly with high net worth individuals, but a lot of the work I do is advisory work. We deal with various different parts of the business. So I work with audit a little bit. I also work with restructuring and things like that, with mergers and acquisitions. So it's a real broad kind of job role that I work in.
I'm Simran. I work in restructuring services, and that sits within financial advisory. So my day-to-day is sort of working with stressed businesses, so that can be like in insolvency situations or advisory work in general. And we sometimes have a tendency for these clients to be quite high profile too, which can always be quite interesting.
Okay, great, thank you both. I think now we have the opportunity to open up the webinar for questions. So perhaps we will kick off with some questions around the selection and application process. We've had quite a few on this subject, such as what are the entry criteria and what are the additional expectations of students that are applying. So perhaps Nicole and Lorna, perhaps as the recruitment experts, you'd like to take that question.
Hi, yeah, this is Lorna. So in terms of the entry criteria, it's 104 UCAS points that you will need alongside a GCSE English and Maths level 3 if you're applying. And then I don't know, Nicole, if you wanted to touch on the additional expectations of students applying.
Yeah, sure. So in terms of, we have the entry criteria, as Lorna said. So it's GCSE English and Maths level 6, but that also translates into Old World, which was an English C and a Maths B, and the UCAS points as well. That translates into Old World, but don't worry about the criteria. You can put that into your application form, and if it was pre-2017, we can convert that for you and make sure that that's all okay. In terms of additional expectations, we don't look for you to have any specific experience within the role that you're applying to, just that you're really keen to learn and show a real interest in the role itself. You'll be trained on specific skills that you need to do your day-to-day job. So we really just ask that you're committed to learning and working hard within your role and your additional study as well.
Perfect. Thank you, Nicole. And what advice would you give for the interview stage?
Prepare. So do your research, not just on Deloitte as a firm and who we are and what we do, but also the role that you've applied to. We've got so much information available on our website. These types of events or the sort of national careers fairs, just asking questions about what to expect within the roles that you're applying to, so that you've got a really good understanding of what it is. Throughout the process, you'll have an early careers recruitment team member that you can link in with if you do have any questions. So just asking along the way and making sure that you completely understand what it is that you've applied to. But also thinking of some examples of the strengths that you've got or the skills that you've got that you can bring to that role and would help you excel, and in particular within the role you've applied to. I would say as well, it doesn't hurt to do your research in terms of what's going on in the press. You may do a bit of a Google, you know, what's going on in Deloitte, the Deloitte UK firm. You may hear about a big project that we're working on, a client that we're working on. So there's always lots of news stories and things going around. So have a look in the press as well, because it's always good to be able to drop that in at the interview. That you have been doing your research, but I think as well, overall, just be really honest and be yourself when you're applying.
Fantastic. Thanks, Nicole. We've had a question come in around how the apprenticeships are structured and what the day release looks like, or is it day release, or how does it work? And I guess the answer to the question around when you go and study will depend on the nature of the apprenticeship that you're doing. But typically, the apprenticeships that we offer will consist of study away at a college for block release. So that could be a 5 or 10-day course that you would do, and then you'd come back into the business, continue on with your sort of project work, and then you'd potentially go off and do an exam. And that pattern would continue on throughout the duration of your program. So it's a mixture of being out of the office, in a classroom, learning, taking exam, being back in the business. Some of the programs have a slightly different structure. So for example, our technology degree apprenticeship, that has a 8-week intensive launch pad at the start of the program. But then again, it follows a similar pattern where you go back into the business, gain valuable work skills, and then go back to college to continue your learning. So typically, that's how the apprenticeships are structured. I've got a really good question here for Michael and Simran. So I guess, I don't know how you want to answer this, but why did you choose to do an apprenticeship at Deloitte, and specifically Deloitte and not the other big 4 rivals?
I chose an apprenticeship because it was a different type of learning. So I chose an apprenticeship because it was different styles of learning. It was a bit more one-to-one. Sorry, just a second, we have some technical issues. Right, let's try again. So I chose an apprenticeship because it was a different style of learning. It was a bit more one-to-one and a bit more exciting in the way that we learn. And I think that, like we mentioned earlier, it was the fact that you didn't have to have any student loan, any debt, and stuff like that. On top of that, I noticed that we do the same exams that the graduates do too, so it doesn't do anything apart from speed you up in your career.
Yeah, I pretty much echo what Simran said there. Although, speaking for Simran as well. Yeah, speaking for Simran as well, I think I chose Deloitte over the other big 4 because when I came for the interview, I just had a better feeling than I did anywhere else. I think the people are really what makes this firm, and that's really something to bear in mind when you're applying, is that just be yourself and show your personality, because that's, at the end of the day, what Deloitte are looking for.
Fab. Thanks both. So we've had quite a few questions about the salary and benefits. So I'm going to hand that one over to Nicole and Lorna.
Thank you. Yeah, so in terms of salary, unfortunately, we don't confirm salaries at this stage. There's a few reasons for that, but essentially the figure is based on a number of factors. That includes an exercise where a reward team looks to the market to confirm that our salaries are competitive against our competitors. So what we can say is that is the case. Our salaries are competitive in our market, in our industry market. But when you do go through the process, if you do pass the final stage assessment and receive an offer, you'll be sent an offer letter straight away, and on the offer letter that gives you an indication of the salary figure as of that date. So what people are being paid within the firm as of that date, and then once you get your contract out, that will have the confirmed salary figure for that date as well. In terms of benefits, we have a flexible benefit programme which operates whereby you'll be given an allocated monetary amount every year, and you can use that on whichever benefits are most applicable for yourself. So sort of think of it as a bit of a pick and mix. You get all the options, it tells you how much each of them would cost, and you select every year which of the benefits options that you want. So you don't have to pick them at the beginning and then you have to keep using them every year. You do get the option to change that every year. So that includes things like private dental care, private health care, various different insurances. We have a cycle to work scheme. We also have the opportunity to purchase holidays. So on top of your annual leave entitlement, which is 25 days plus a Deloitte day, which you could look as a additional bank holiday that we get every year. And you can then purchase additional holidays if you wish to do so.
Great, thanks Nicole. And I think, Michael, you wanted to add something to that.
Yeah, I'll just add on as an apprentice point of view in terms of remuneration and pay is I don't think it's ever something you need to worry about. You're always paid enough to kind of live a lifestyle that is very comfortable, especially for an 18 to 20-year-old. And in terms of the benefits, the extra days holiday are an absolute godsend when it comes to exams.
I can second that. Brilliant. We've got some more questions, I think, for you, Simran and Michael as well. Which more questions for you, Michael and Simran, which is about how do you balance the study with the work, and do you get to have a social life?
So I'd say that the people that you work with are very accommodating. As long as you let them know that you have exams and stuff, they're more than welcome to sort of let you leave a little bit earlier and make sure that your studies are your priority first off.
Brilliant. You get to socialise together?
Yes, yeah. We definitely do. There are a lot of opportunities for social gatherings and stuff, whether that's within the firm. We have a lot of networks that you can join, and they all host their own events, whether that's faith related or anything else. And yeah, no, there's definitely always time for social activity around here.
Yeah, I agree as well. We've got one of the societies we do is the Globe Society, so it's LGBTQ, and we do a lot of events with that, which is really useful to get involved with. It's really good fun. And then in Birmingham, not all offices do this, but we have something called Free Drink Friday. So it's a really good way of getting together every month and just basically seeing people you haven't seen for a while and just getting back in touch with everyone.
Your office on a Friday, I think. Okay, that's brilliant. So we've got 5 minutes left for questions. So we will take a few more, and then any questions that have been answered on this session, we will follow up after the session and post Q&A online. So don't worry if your specific question hasn't been answered during this session. Okay, time for a couple of others then. So are you able to kind of, Simran and Michael, give a typical kind of example of what a week might look like for you in Deloitte? What sort of things would you be doing?
I guess you could take both of our perspectives on this because we're from differing departments. So a lot of the work that I tend to do can be anything from researching potential clients or being active out on site, trading a business, or just simply having like meetings with our clients.
Yeah, so For such a different role, it's fairly similar for me, although every week turns out to be different. So typical things I could be doing is we could be researching kind of potential clients in the area, seeing who might be of interest to us to see if we can get involved with them, completing any tax audit work potentially, and then getting involved in some quite interesting advisory projects with some very interesting clients, to say the least.
And do you think overall you have made the right decision to take the apprenticeship versus the university route? Why did you decide to go down the apprenticeship path?
Yeah, I would say I've definitely made the right decision on my perspective. I was always unsure of whether I would have liked to have gone to uni, and I definitely in hindsight have made the right decision. I think the way I learn, I like to be practical and hands-on and have something I'm working towards. That's really handy when you're working with teams that have so much more experience than you, and then when you start doing your studies, you notice how much it comes into play. It's kind of really good seeing that your education works hand in hand with your job itself, and it's really rewarding.
No, I definitely second that. There's definitely a rewarding feeling of working with clients and, you know, giving them what they want, and especially for myself, working with a stressed business and kind of bringing them back to that secure level is just definitely rewarding.
Great, and I think we've got time for one more question, and I think this is a really important one, which is around, you know, what support do you get? You know, what happens if you're being given a task that you don't fully understand? You know, who do you go to help? What support is there for you?
To be fair, everyone's your support network. You can literally ask anybody. The teams are all really accommodating, which is exactly why we chose Deloitte in the first place. Anyone above you or below you is literally willing to help you. But aside from that, you have mentors, you have buddies, coaches. There's a very big support network around you, so there's literally no reason to be scared.
Okay. Fantastic. So I think we'll wrap the questions up there. And as I said, if you do have any others that you think of later, or we didn't answer your specific question, we will be posting the Q&A online later. Okay, so I'm going to hand back over to Nicole now to talk about the actual application process.
Thank you very much. Okay, so hopefully we answered quite a few of your questions there. So if hearing from Simran and Michael has inspired you, let's have a wee look at how you can follow in their footsteps. So the first step of the process is the online application form. This takes about 20 minutes and you'll be asked a series of questions relating to your education and your background. Like I say, only 20 minutes, it should be fairly quick. And once you submit your application, that then takes you directly on to our next step, which is the immersive online assessment. So you'll be asked to look at possible scenarios that you could experience in the workplace, and we ask here that you answer honestly how you would respond using rank order or multiple choice questions. So you'll be given the scenario and we are looking to see how exactly you would respond in that situation. This usually takes about 40 minutes and it is untimed, so you can go away and come back to it if you want to take a break in between, in the middle of it. It should only take you about 40 minutes, but as I say, it's not a timed exam. If you are successful at the online immersive assessment, you will then have your application screened, and if you do meet the criteria that we're looking for, you'll go on to complete our job simulation assessment. So the job simulation assessment is taking on a bit of a online case study assessment. So everything here relates to the type of things you can do and you can achieve at Deloitte. So the questions are given to you in various different formats. So you could be given a written question where you'll have to write a response. You could be asked a question via video where you would have to again record a video response and send that back into us. And then it could be questions similar to the immersive online assessment where you have to rank in order how you would respond, or it could be multiple choice questions as well, but it's designed to be really quite immersive in terms of the role that you're applying to and give you some scenarios that you could face. And finally, if you are successful at the job simulation assessment, you will meet someone from your chosen business area. So this could be a partner or a director, and you'll be invited in to the office that you have applied to complete some exercises and deliver a presentation. Don't worry about the presentation being on the spot. You'll get the details of what you have to present on well in advance of your final stage assessment. And if you have any questions at that point, you'll have a dedicated early careers recruitment contact who sits within my team, and you'll be able to ask them for support or ask any questions that you might have. They will also run coaching calls where they'll spend some time with you, talking to you a bit about the format of the interview and answering any questions that you might have as well. So you'll have plenty of time and plenty of support as well to prepare for this stage of the assessment. We do have a hints and tips guide as well. The link to that is on the slide at the moment, but we will have a recording of this available on YouTube as well, so you'll be able to look back and get these links. This is a really, really handy document. You can just download it and keep it handy throughout the whole process. It's got loads of tips on how to prepare, what to expect at every stage of the process. So if your heart is still set on university, of course, university might be the right choice for you after all, and that's absolutely fine. We know that everyone's different, and that's why we've offered lots of different ways to start your career here at Deloitte. So we have our graduate programme, which gives graduates the opportunity to take the first step of their career. Again, you'll have a competitive salary and lots of opportunities to progress as well. We have our Spring into Deloitte programme, which is a 2-day programme, and it gives you an insight into what professional services careers really involve. On completion, you can transfer your application to the following year's summer vacation scheme. We also have our summer vacation scheme for penultimate year university students, and this gives you a really good opportunity to get that real work experience sitting within one of our teams within the business for 3 to 6 weeks across the summer, and you could also secure a place on our graduate programme before you head to your final year at university if you perform well and are successful during your placement. If you're interested in taking a year out of university and as part of your course you have to do a year in industry, we've got our industrial placements as well. That gives you a chance to spend 6 to 12 months with us, taking advantage of all of our training and hands-on experience. And again, that could be an opportunity to fast track to the graduate programme if you perform well on that placement. One of our new programmes for this year is our Pathfinders programme. This is a gap year programme, so it's for anyone who knows they want to go to university but they want to take some time out in between finishing school or college and starting university. It's a 9-month placement where you would sit within one of the areas of the business. And then when you do go off to university, you will have 4 weeks paid work experience every summer in your university holidays within that team that you did your 9-month gap placement with as well. Great. So if we really do hope that we've helped you to get a deeper understanding of apprenticeships and also a bit about Deloitte as well and what we do here. And I hope we've answered your questions. But if you are still keen to find out more, we've got loads of detail and information on our website. So you can also join our mailing lists as well for regular updates, opportunities and advice. So this is our social media handles. We've got our Twitter, our LinkedIn, our Facebook. We also have a dedicated Deloitte Careers YouTube channel. I would definitely advise having a look on there. It's got short clips and short videos, which give you a bit of an insight into all of our programmes, but also some of our various diversity networks. And our social responsibility 1 Million Futures programme as well. So it's definitely worth taking a look, and you can find loads of information on there as well. So this brings us to the end of today's webinar. Thank you all so much for spending your Monday evening with us and taking the time to not only join but to send any questions in prior to today and throughout. We would really love to stay in touch with you all and for you to follow us on social media. And as I said, this webinar recording is also going to be posted on YouTube if you do want to have a look back. I'd like to also thank Jenny, Lorna, Simran and Michael for all your time this evening as well.
Thanks. Thank you.
And we do all really hope that you do stay in touch, and hopefully we do see some applications coming through from you. I just wanted to flag just one final thing before we wrap up. Our applications are open at the moment for all apprenticeship programmes. We do have some areas that are closing tomorrow night at midnight. So if you are keen to apply, all you need to do is get your application in before tomorrow at midnight for those particular areas. And then the process will go on from there.
Brilliant. Thanks, Nicole. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Good luck.
Good luck.